Hey guys, welcome to M&M IELTS. Today's video is about IELTS most used vocabulary for your writing section. So I will be sharing a few words that I personally prefer using a lot when it comes to writing section, and based on different scenarios you use different words, and I'll share a couple of words that you should be noting in your notebook. If you're watching this video, make a note of them and try to use those words when you are practicing your writing section, because you will notice that sometimes just by changing words and not using the most common words and using a little less common words, I would say, it really makes a huge difference and the presentation of your writing will just change. So let us see what those words are. So first I want to start when there is a situation where you want to express your opinion. Then how can you start those sentences? You can start by saying, it appears that, it seems to me that, in my understanding. So all these three phrases can be used. They are not words, they are phrases, because it's a group of words, so it's called phrases. You can use these phrases to express your opinion whenever you are writing something. So all three, they mean the same, but every time you express your opinion, you can use one of them. Moving on, you can use such as, to illustrate, and for instance whenever you wish to write some examples for the write-up that you are writing. So instead of just saying for example, you can say for instance, to illustrate, such as. The meaning remains the same, but it's just the way of expressing what you want to express in different ways using different words. Very helpful. Next, general ideas. So general ideas means maybe you're just giving a general overview. You're not taking sides or anything like that. So what can you use? Generally, which is very obviously evident that it's talking about general ideas. Overall, okay? So sometimes you want to just give a realistic picture view of the situation. So you can just use overall. It just gives you an entire view of the situation in one go. In general, again, a general view. Essentially, on the whole. So these words can be used when you wish to talk about something very general, basic. Next, certainty. Now what is certainty? Certainty means surety. When you are sure about something, when you are 100% sure that yes, this is what I want to say, or this is what I feel, I believe, you can use words called certainly, or you can use the word undoubtedly. Undoubtedly, because you have no doubts in whatever you are saying or writing, you are 100% sure. Or definitely. Sometimes when we talk, we say, oh, most definitely. It's the way of showing that how confident you are, you have no doubts whatsoever in your mind. So when you want to describe about a situation where you are 1000% sure of what you're saying is correct or what you feel is right, you can use these words. Moving on, whenever you write anything, there is definitely a time when you have to conclude that writing. You want to write down a conclusion. How do you start writing your conclusion? You can use words like to summarize, which is like, you're summarizing the entire passage or write-up. In conclusion, which is very simple. And then finally, again, some synonyms, they all mean the same, but just different words. This is one of my most favorite pages in this presentation, I would say. The reason is there are a lot of simple words if you have a look on this page. Amazing, old, important, great, dull, famous, dangerous. These are very basic words, very simple words that you might be using in your everyday life while communicating, whether it is oral communication or written communication. Nothing wrong in it. But when it comes to IELTS, it's an English test. So what we need to show over there is that yes, I know better. I know a lot more than just basic level, because the reason you're giving this exam is because you want your bands, your desired score. So there is definitely a need to showcase that you have a very sound knowledge of the language, you have a vast range of vocabulary. And how can you do that? Even when there is a very simple basic situation, you should use a little less familiar words to express those situations, to express your feelings, your emotions, or your whatever you feel. because that's what shows that yes, you have a wide range of vocabulary and that helps you to boost your writing score. So let's say it is amazing, because right now I'm only talking about writing section. So let's say it is amazing. Instead of saying amazing, you can write incredible or astonishing. Again, a little fancy, but that's cool, because in writing in IELTS, we know how important is it to get score in writing. It is not that easy. It is not as easy as reading, listening, or speaking. So anything that can be done to boost your writing score should be done. We should not leave any table unturned. The next is old. So whenever you feel you want to use the word old, let's say for example old times, just say ancient times, or some personality that you're talking about, old. Instead of saying old, let's say some artist, you can say veteran artist, or veteran personality. Just replacing that simple word old with veteran or ancient. Next is important, a very common word. We definitely use this word every single day in our life. Instead of writing important, go for vital, essential, critical. Next is great. Great is again something that you use regularly, whether it is speaking or writing. Instead of writing great, I will go for distinguished. If you want to talk about some features of an electronic equipment, instead of saying this has great features, go for this has distinguished features, or some great personality that you're talking about, or you are using a great personality as an example. Instead of writing great personality, go for distinguished personality. Again, a different way of writing and expressing your emotions. Dull. Instead of writing dull or boring or mundane, you can write monotonous. A little fancy word, but means the same. Next, famous. You can go for renowned, which is my personal favorite. Renowned poet, renowned dancer, which is famous, and eminent. But my personal favorite is renowned. Every time I feel that I want to use the word famous, I feel like replacing it with the word renowned, and it does the job. Next and the last one is dangerous. Instead of dangerous, which is again a very common word and highly used by a lot of students, I would go for hazardous. So even by replacing small little words, the common words, the simple basic words, with a little less common, less familiar words, a little fancy words, helps you to give a good shape, good carving to your writing setup. Make sure you make a note of all these words, use in your writing practice, and that will help you in boosting your writing score. All the best.